The night was heavy with silence, broken only by the slow, steady beeping of a hospital monitor. Sophia Donovan lay in bed, her once vibrant spirit buried beneath the weight of despair. Her fingers clutched her rounded belly as she whispered into the dim air, "Please, don't leave me." But her father, Richard Donovan, the man newspapers called the Lion of Wall Street, was already walking away. His polished shoes clicked against the hospital floor, every step sounding like a gavel striking judgment. "Dad," she cried, her voice cracking. "I need you." Richard paused at the door, his back straight, his pride unshaken. "You made your bed, Sophia. Now lie in it. Don't expect me to clean up the mess you created." Tears blurred her vision as the door closed. The man who once carried her on his shoulders, who used to promise her the world, had just disowned her. Sophia's mind raced back to the accident. One rainy evening, she and Daniel, the man she thought she would marry, were driving home when the car skidded. She woke up in the hospital paralyzed, unable to feel her legs. And when Daniel learned she was pregnant, he walked away too. Alone, abandoned, pregnant, paralyzed. It felt like the universe had conspired against her. But fate had other plans. Because that night, the janitor came in. The janitor's compassion, Jacob Martinez, pushed his cleaning cart into Sophia's room, humming softly to himself to fight off exhaustion. His eyes fell on the young woman, her face streaked with tears. He hesitated, then leaned on his mop. "Rough night?" he asked gently. Sophia almost laughed bitterly. "That's one way to put it." Jacob put the mop aside and pulled a chair closer. "Want to talk about it?" "No," she snapped, then softened. "Actually, yes, but you wouldn't understand." Jacob tilted his head. "Try me." And so, with tears choking her voice, Sophia told him everything, about Daniel, about the accident, about her father's cruel rejection. When she finished, Jacob sat quietly, letting the silence breathe. Finally he said, "You know, people think strength is about standing tall, but I think real strength is about surviving when life knocks you down flat." Sophia blinked at him, startled. "Why do you care? You don't even know me." He smiled faintly. "Because I've been where you are. I lost my wife when Emily, my daughter, was just 2. Everyone I thought would be there for me disappeared. And suddenly, it was just me and a baby. I didn't think I'd survive it, but here I am." Something stirred in Sophia's chest. For the first time in weeks, she felt understood. Act 3, A Home of Kindness. When Sophia was discharged, she had nowhere to go. Her father had cut off her accounts, and the hospital couldn't keep her. Jacob saw her struggling in the lobby, her wheelchair facing the rain outside. "Where will you go?" he asked. "I don't know," she whispered. He hesitated, then said, "My apartment isn't much, but you and the baby, you'd be safe there." Sophia's pride flared. "I can't impose." But as thunder cracked outside, reality hit her. She nodded slowly. "Okay." Jacob's apartment was tiny, with peeling wallpaper and squeaky floors, but it was filled with warmth. Emily, a bright-eyed 7-year-old, rushed to Sophia's side. "Hi, you're pretty. Do you like dolls?" Sophia couldn't help but smile. "I used to." From that night on, Sophia had a home. Act 4, Struggles of Poverty. Life in Jacob's world was hard. Sophia, who once dined on caviar, now ate ramen noodles. She saw Jacob leave at dawn, come home past midnight, hands raw from work. Some nights, they barely had enough food. Sophia felt guilty. One evening, as Jacob set a simple dinner on the table, she whispered, "You don't have to do this for me. I'm just a burden." And Jacob looked at her, his eyes firm. "Sophia, listen. You are not a burden. You're a human being. And you deserve love, even if others made you believe otherwise." Tears welled in her eyes. No one had ever spoken to her like that. Slowly, she began to adjust. She learned how to cook from her wheelchair, how to fold Emily's school clothes, how to contribute in small ways. She wasn't useless. She was learning to live again. Act 5. The birth months passed and the day finally came. Sophia screamed in pain as Jacob held her hand. "Breathe, Sophia! You've got this!" Hours later, the cry of a newborn filled the room. A baby boy. Sophia cradled him, her heart overflowing. "Gabriel," she whispered, "my angel." Jacob smiled, his eyes misty. Emily peeked in, whispering, "Can I be his big sister?" Sophia nodded. "Yes, sweetheart, you already are." Act 6. The CEO returns. News of Gabriel's birth reached Richard Donovan. His pride burned, but curiosity led him to Jacob's apartment. When Sophia opened the door, she froze. Richard's eyes scanned the cramped apartment, the crying baby, and Jacob standing protectively nearby. So, it's true. You've disgraced this family beyond repair. Sophia's heart sank. Dad, please. But Jacob stepped forward. Sir, with all due respect, the only disgrace here is a father abandoning his daughter. Richard glared. You're a janitor. Don't speak to me. Jacob's voice was steady. Maybe I am a janitor, but at least I don't walk away from the people I love. The room was silent. For once, Richard had no reply. Act 7. Rising from the ashes, Sophia knew she couldn't live in pity forever. One night, she sketched clothing designs, adaptive clothes for people in wheelchairs. Jacob noticed. You should do this, he encouraged. I can't. I have no money. Start small. We'll figure it out. With Jacob's support, Sophia launched an online shop. Orders were slow at first, but one viral post changed everything. Paralyzed mother creates fashion line for disabled community. Suddenly, interviews came. Sophia spoke about resilience, about kindness, about hope. Her business grew, her confidence bloomed. She was no longer Richard Donovan's discarded daughter. She was Sophia, the founder, the mother, the fighter. To Act 80. The CEO's fall. Meanwhile, Richard's empire crumbled. Corruption scandals leaked, investors fled, and his cold image was exposed. For the first time, the mighty CEO tasted public humiliation. Desperate, he returned to Sophia, his voice broken. Sophia, forgive me, I was blind. She looked at him with tears. Dad, I forgave you long ago, but I don't need your money or your name anymore. I built a life without you. She glanced at Jacob, holding Gabriel, with Emily beside him. This is my family now, the family that stayed. Richard lowered his head, realizing too late what he had lost. Act 9. A new beginning. Years passed. Sophia's business flourished, providing dignity for countless disabled people. She married Jacob in a small but heartfelt ceremony. Emily twirled as the flower girl, and Gabriel clapped with joy. Their home wasn't filled with luxury, but with laughter, warmth, and resilience. Sophia often looked back on that night in the hospital, remembering the moment her father left and a janitor stepped in. That was the night her real life began. Final message, viewers, what do you think? Should a parent's pride ever be more important than their child? Would you choose wealth and reputation or kindness and love? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Be kind always. Let's keep spreading stories that remind us that kindness can change lives. Because in the end, money fades. But love, the kind that shows up when everyone else leaves, that lasts forever.